I'm Stella Collins, Director of Stellar Learning, author of Neuroscience for Learning Development, and one of the Brain Ladies. I have a passion for driving performance through evidence-based learning with a creative twist. Here are some of my most practical tips based on neuroscience and psychology, so you too can create sticky learning. Number one is to give as much work as you can to your learners and do less yourself. It's their brains that need to change. Here's some ways to do that using the mnemonic learners, L-E-A-R-N-E-R-S. L is for links. When we link new information to old information, it's much easier to remember it. So ask people what they already know before you teach them anything new. It's that simple. E is for emotions. Emotional memories are really sticky. We remember what's emotionally important to us. So prompt your learners to find out what's their emotional why for their learning. A is for anchors. These are associations you teach people, so they automatically associate two things together. On all courses, we have an exercise where it connects chocolate and brains. And afterwards, people go back to work, and whenever they come across chocolate, they always remember what they learned about brains. R is for repetition. Learners need to repeat, repeat, repeat to remember things for the long term. It's the learners that need to repeat, not you. So instead of you repeating something to them, ask them to describe, draw, act out what they just learned. N is for novelty. We'll pay attention to what's new because it might be dangerous or delicious. So do things differently and upset expectations to get people paying attention to what they're learning, and they'll definitely remember it better. E is for exercise. When you exercise, you create a brain cell growth factor, and we learn information better when we're moving rather than when we're sitting. So, for example, encourage people to stand up at flip charts rather than to sit down at tables. Just get them moving. R is for recovery. Brains use a lot of energy when they're learning, and they need time to recover. Give people quiet reflection time or a cognitive activity followed by a physical one. And most of all, encourage people to get a good night's sleep to embed their long-term memory. S is for stories, which incorporate most of the elements we've just talked about. They link to previous experiences, are emotional, often associative, are easy to repeat, and you can tell them whilst you're walking along or for quiet reflection. Encourage your learners to create, write, and share their own stories for stickier learning. Remember to use learners when you're designing training. I urge you to go out and experiment with these ideas because theory is only useful when you use it. I wish you well in the learning zone, in your theory zone.